Hello, everyone, and welcome. We're so excited to have you join us for today's webinar, Project SOS, the Future of Job Costing. My name is Rebecca Stiletto, a marketing manager here at Appficiency. Here's what we have planned for today. We'll introduce Snap-on software, dive into our rebranded job costing solution, Project SOS. Then we'll present a demo highlighting a few key industry verticals. Before we begin, here's a few quick housekeeping items. So today's presentation will be about 50 minutes, including introduction and Q&A. The session will be recorded, and we'll share the recording with you afterwards. If you have any questions, please ask them through the Q&A button on the bottom of your screen, and we'll get to them at the end. And also let us know your thoughts and feedbacks through the poll at the end of the presentation. So let's jump into an exciting update about our business and how it's evolving to tackle new challenges to better serve you. So as you know, Appficiency has been and will continue to be a top SDN and alliance partner. We've built a strong reputation for delivering job costing solutions, extending the NetSuite platform, and supporting businesses across industries like ETO, advertising, construction, and more. Our consulting expertise isn't changing. Appficiency remains the core service arm of our business, providing the same industry-leading NetSuite services that our clients rely on. What is evolving, however, is how we develop and deliver our software products. So that's where Snap-on software comes in. This new sister company is focused on multi-platform software development, expanding our ability to create cutting-edge, adaptable, and integrated solutions that snap on seamlessly to your core business applications. With this dedicated product arm, we'll focus on job costing and key industry enhancements within the Oracle NetSuite ecosystem. So what does this mean going forward? Our consulting services remain under the Appficiency brand, while our software solutions will now be developed and enhanced under Snap-on software. So you can expect the same products, they'll just keep getting better. And this shift sharpens our focus, it fosters innovation, and it enables us to drive even greater business success for you and your clients. This is a really exciting announcement today. To walk us through Project SOS, we have two incredible experts with us today. Johnny Than is the CEO and co-founder of Appficiency. He has over 30 years of experience in corporate IT and enterprise applications. Johnny has worked with over 300 mid-market and Fortune 500 clients. And as the founder of Appficiency, he's helped develop innovative NetSuite solutions for over 1,000 businesses. Ayman Adel is a senior consultant at Appficiency, and he brings more than 12 years of experience in accounting, construction, and manufacturing. Over the past 8 years, he specialized in helping businesses scale with enterprise software solutions focusing on construction, service, and manufacturing industries. So our goal today is to introduce the new and improved job costing bundle for NetSuite, Project SOS, which is now under Snap-on software, enhancing job costing and reporting. So without further ado, let's dive into it. Johnny, over to you.
Thanks a lot, Rebecca. Appreciate it. Today, we're going to talk about how Snap-on software brings a new level of competitive edge for our customers here with the way that we've broken out the capabilities of both the software group as well as the professional services group. The first and foremost piece is really that we had dedicated IP and software. So the software group is fully independent, and they're able to work on a normal product backlog for software. They're able to interpret customers and their active use of the product, and they follow a much more rigorous product development process than a professional services firm might otherwise do. To do that well, we need a lot of knowledge. And to do that knowledge well, we have created consultants that are really tailored to the industries that they serve. So industry consultants learn the industry first. They understand the major unique labels that the industry uses and the major unique processes that industry needs to be effective in their ERP applications and their other extended applications that are connected to that ERP through integration. We've also changed our pricing to make it particularly exceptional for enterprises that are looking to grow. Our pricing, as you'll see later, we are going to make it public And that pricing will be based on the organization, not on the number of users. That way you can grow without paying us more, and hopefully taking that to your bottom line through being able to invest or otherwise create a better environment for your customers and your employees. And lastly, we're going to introduce a new word called integrative solutions, which is really the concept that the process doesn't end because the software ends. And so for your businesses, each process needs to go through potentially 1 to 10 applications. The core application, in this case that we're talking about, is really the project costing on the ERP. And so it needs to be ready for, able to, and hopefully out of the box deployed for that extended process and extended application chain potentially. And so because of that and some of these other reasons, we really have some key advantages that we hope will make a huge difference for our customers, and that's exactly what we've seen. Now, the industries that project costing really is relevant to is what we call engineer to order, specialty and subcontractors in construction, and agency and advertising. Widely very different industries, but truly all of them are focused on project profitability. They're focused on doing work in a project or job sense. And so because of that, each of these industries have unique needs, but project costing and the Project SOS product that Appficiency has developed and SOS software has developed can really service all of them. But how do you know what industry you actually are? It might be easy for us to make a label, but this will help you understand. Now, remember, in software, software looks at your business a very specific way, but you as a customer, you might call yourself anything. You might call yourself an apple grower, but really to us, you're maybe engineered to order. So from a software lens, this is the profile that really makes a difference in terms of what your software functionality needs to support and what its capabilities need to be. Never mind the likely types of systems that are part of that application chain I talked about, so that we have an integrated solution, as well as, of course, the actual natural business commercial processes that you need to support in that software. So engineer to order is a good example where there's a heavy reliance on computer adaptive or computer aided design type software. That could be anything from SolidWorks to a Bluebeam to some other construction oriented or manufacturing oriented CAD design software. And because of that, we know what that estimating looks like and what that initial job cost jacket, standard expected cost and revenue looks like. And so we know that that needs to be ready we know that Project SOS needs to be ready to ingest that type of data. That type of data can come from a wide variety of systems, and by all means it does. And so engineer to order looks a very specific way. After that, engineer to order, you'll see, goes through work orders. It doesn't go through a normal project costing process like construction and specialty might do. And so that really defines engineer to order, which is that you're coming off of a CAD system and you're going into a work order or multiple work orders with multiple layers, all of which don't use a standard stock keeping unit. It's not uncommon for engineer to order to have no standard SKUs at all. Some will mix and match and have some standard SKUs, and other parts will be completely custom every time, an engineered part. But the end result is usually a unique SKU that has a unique part number that will never be made again except for that customer or that job. For specialty and subcontractor, it's an opposite type of category where you don't have stock keeping units either, actually, but what you instead have is building materials. And those materials, for the most part, you don't care what they are, whether I use type 1 concrete or type 2 concrete, although important to the job and the actual foreman at the site, not important to job costing. Job costing really just cares about total cost and total expected cost and how we're performing against that cost. And so specialty and subcontractor is made up of these types of what we call markers. The other thing that's really unique about specialty and subcontractors is they often do field-based work. They have to either get out to a physical site and they do something there, and that activity at that site can cause costing and other changes to the job at any given time. And so they need to track it and track it carefully. And these types of specialty and subs can often refer to themselves as subs, specialty, trades, allied services. There's a wide range of names for them. Lastly, an industry that you wouldn't expect to be the same at all is actually agency and professional services. And they do actually fairly complex job costing as well. But their job costing is much more focused, not just on the human labor aspects, but what those human labor aspects cost. And often, agency and professional services are part of larger companies that have multiple subsidiaries or multiple lines of business, all of which trade resources. And those resources often have intercompany costs. So that makes it even much more tricky to understand what that job costing looks like. Examples of this can range from creative agencies or AORs, agencies of record for major brands that you and I might interact with every day, to legal firms, professional services firms, IT consulting firms like Appficiency, et cetera. And their focus is primarily on customer relationship management software, ERP in the middle, and professional services automation, which may or may not be embedded in the ERP itself. And they, of course, refer to themselves in a wide range of names, from agencies to ad tech, Marcom, they're doing campaigns and whatnot, to professional services and MSPs. So those are really the types of industries and what defines those industries. And to do that, you need one project costing tool that can do it all, because it can be used in multiple ways. And some of these companies actually have all types in them. So we'd like to announce Project SOS. Project SOS is really the Project Snap-on software job costing capabilities that Snap-on software has developed. And of course, it needs all of these capabilities and potentially much more, depending on the application and the industry that it's going to be applied to, from job costing standardization to project dashboards and visualizations of that job cost and where the job cost is going to end up at completion, to synchronization with the original estimate so that costs and cost changes to cost are captured all the way through to the actual final job, time, allocation, materials, work orders, et cetera, whatever industry you're using. And then there's often concept of some type of holdback, retainage, or potentially a deposit. And so the commercials can be completely separate from the actual activity of the job in many, many cases. So what makes our product unique is that it can service all of these industries all together because of its flexibility, which means for you that each one is pre-tailored so that it's ready for your industry. So because of that need to pre-tailor for the industry, we've priced by industry as well. And so you can now look at our pricing publicly available here. You'll see we have pricing for those that are in what we call construction industries. We have another one for AED, which stands for Architecture, Engineering, and Design, which is one of the unique and smaller subcategories of overall construction, but nonetheless highly unique, and therefore you see a different stack of features that it needs. And so we've put them together for that particular industry. Enterprise has yet more needs, and you'll see that as well, including a dedicated integration to Procore, agency, different, agency and advertising, different, and then, of course, ETO and manufacturing. So Appficiency and Snap-on Software together in partnership are very excited to provide the first public pricing in the space and allow everyone to have a lot of certainty with what they need to buy and what they need to have ready so that their ERP applications and their other applications can work really seamlessly to give them great job costing and great project performance across their business. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Johnny. So as Johnny mentioned, the project job costing solution is not built for a specific industry. It's a comprehensive and very adaptable solution. So whether you are in construction industry or a manufacturing industry or a services industry, the Project SOS job costing solution adapts your unique requirement, helping you to stay competitive in a fast changing market. So in my demo today, we're going to have 3 different projects for 3 different industries. And let's say how Project SOS job costing solution can help your business to streamline the operations and improve the decision making. So the first project industry going to be the construction industry right now. And the main focus here is we want to see how Project SOS can automatically capture the construction project revenue and project budget, and also how Project SOS solution can track the different type of change orders across the project. And in terms of the actual cost, how Project SOS can automatically capture the actual cost of labors and subcontractors, and in terms of the actual labor cost, how Project SOS can capture the actual invoices generated to the customer, and how Project SOS can help you to recognize the revenue based on the project percentage of complete. So for the first project, it's going to be an healthcare construction project. So if you look at the SOS job costing section here, it's a real-time project tracking tool. It helps the project manager to stay on the top of the budget, timeline, and resources. With this, teams can easily identify the issues, make the adjustment quickly, and keep the project in track. So if you look at SOS number 1, it's sourced from the total value of this of the client contract. So if you look at the sales order related to this project, this sales order was broken down by work codes, which is you can consider it as a project phases. And each work code has a specific revenue amount. Now, the total revenue of that contract, it's exactly the total revenue captured automatically under SOS number 1 for the total revenue. Same for the budget. So if you look at SOS number 2, and in the same sales order, all the work codes, all of the list of the work codes also would have a specific cost amount. So under the cost amount, which is the budget, the total budget of that project is automatically captured under SOS number 2 for the total budget for that contract. SOS number 3 and SOS number 4, it automatically captured all of the change order happened to this project. The change order could be an internal change order in order just to increase the budget or decrease the budget, or it could be also an external change order with the customer. That's mean we are increasing also the revenue for that project. Now, in terms of the actual cost, if you look at SOS number 5, it captured the actual labor cost. So if your resources is using NetSuite to track the timesheets, or maybe using any different or any other payroll system like Ceridian or an Employee Hero, we can integrate the time to NetSuite, and SOS number 5 can automatically calculate the actual labor cost based on the approved timesheets multiplied by the labor cost. Now, SOS number 6, if you have any subcontractor cost against this project, SOS number 6 can automatically capture all of the vendor bill cost against that project. Now, if you look at the actual revenue for that project, SOS number 7, it's automatically capture all of the invoices generated to the customer till today. Now, in terms of the revenue recognition, because most of construction industries are recognizing the revenue based on the project cost percentage of complete. So if you look at the actual cost for this project, it should be SOS number 6 for the total subcontractor cost and SOS number 5 for the actual labor cost. So divided those actual costs by the budget for that project, it should be SOS number 2 for the original budget and SOS number 4 for any change order budget. That will calculate the project cost percentage of complete on a monthly basis. So if you can look here on a monthly basis, what was my actual percentage of complete in terms of the cost? That's mean we still can use native NetSuite revenue recognition method to recognize the revenue automatically based on the percentage of complete, and all of the revenue or all of the recognized revenue will be automatically captured under SOS number 8 for revenue recognition. With that said, there is lots of reports in the system help the project manager to stay on the top of the budget and also make any necessary decision. One of the most important reports is SOS chart. So it's a real-time dynamic report, and it's fully customized based on your unique requirement. So if I want to look at the profitability of this report, for example, as of March 2025, the report will be automatically change and give me the analysis based on March, as of March 2025. In terms of the revenue, what is the comparison between the original contract value in terms of the billing till to date, and what is also the profit for the project profitability? Same for the cost. So if I want to look at the cost as of February 2025, what was my percentage of complete and what was my actual cost trend? Okay, so let me go back to the slides here. Now, the second project for this demo going to be engineer to order, which is going to be the manufacturing project. So in the manufacturing industry, timely production and avoiding delays are critical for meeting customer demand. So to stay on top of the budget and maintain profitability, Project SOS provides several key features help the business monitor the timelines, detect potential delays, and mitigate risk through the manufacturing process. So the focus here will be on, we want to see how Project SOS job costing calculate the work in progress for the material and labor and overhead, and also how Project SOS can automatically capture the revenue and the budget. The other thing is, we want to look at how Project SOS can also capture all of the committed costs for the in-transit material, and also how Project SOS can automatically capture or calculate the actual production cost and make a comparison between the actual production cost and shipped to the client with the total invoices generated to the client. Now, let me go to NetSuite one more time and let's check this project. So the project for manufacturing right now going to be for swing door build project. And now, if I look at the manufacturing job costing section here, it's an end-to-end production management tool that helps you to manage everything from raw material procurement to finished product shipping. So SOS number 1 and number 2, it's similar to the construction one. It captures all of the value for the revenue and budget from the sales order related to this project. But this sales order is a little bit different because this sales order is for an assembly items. And there is 2 work orders generated against this sales order. Work order number 35 and work order number 36. Now, if we look at work order number 35, the status of this work order is in progress work order. The quantity required was 15, and the quantity built so far is still 0. That means this work order is still in progress and it's not completed yet. So if I look at the project one more time, now, since this work order is in progress, the warehouse team maybe already start issuing the raw materials to the shop floor, and also the resources maybe already start entering time or the actual time against the work order. That means any material that issued by the warehouse team from the raw material warehouse to the shop floor, and since this work order is not completed yet, that will be considered as SOS number 3 for work in progress material. And all of the time by the resources entered against this work order, and again, since this work order is not completed yet, all of the cost of that time will be considered as a work in progress labor, and that will be automatically tracked under SOS number 4. SOS number 5, also based on the approved timesheet, if you are tracking any machine overhead or machine run cost or overhead, that will be also automatically calculated and captured under SOS number 5 for the web overhead. Now, if I want to, the real question or the really important question here is, why this work order is still in progress so far? Why this work order is not completed yet? So if I look at this manufacturing job costing, I can easily answer this question because under SOS number 6, I can find there is some committed cost. Would that mean there is some materials required for the manufacturing process is not available in my warehouse? And the procurement team just create a purchase order for the supplier in order to get this remaining quantity to complete the manufacturing process. So if I look at the work order right now, the first quantities that is required for the manufacturing, it's not completed yet. So the required was 15 and the used in build so far is 13. That means we have a shortage of 2 quantity. And there is a purchase order created by the procurement team for that quantities. With that said, the committed cost, it's going to capture any raw materials that have a purchase order generated to the supplier and it's not received yet. You can consider this as in-transit materials not received yet to complete the manufacturing process. Now, the other work order we have it for this project, work order number 36. So if you look at the status of this work order, it's completed work order and the status is already built. So out of the 15 quantity required for this work order, there is a 15 quantity already built. Now, if I go back to the project record one more time, SOS number 7, it automatically calculate all of the completed quantity and ship to the client and what is the cost for this completed quantity. Now, SOS number 8 also, it calculate all of the invoice generated to the client based on the shipped quantity. And now I can see if I'm overbilling the client or I'm underbilling the client. Now, the third project for this demo today is going to be for agency and professional services project. Now, because of the resource allocation is very important for this type of industries, we want to focus today on how Project SOS will calculate all of the, we want to focus today on how Project SOS will calculate all of the matrices based on the resource or the actual resource allocation happened to this project. So if I want to go back to this project on NetSuite one more time, now this project right now have an already resource allocated here. So in NetSuite, you can have the resource allocation by a percentage of time and also by number of hours. Now, based on that resource allocation, if I go back to the Project SOS section, now based on that resource allocation, all of the SOS sections here is automatically calculated based on the resource allocation. So if you look at SOS number 1, based on the resource allocation, now I can see what is the forecasted revenue. It's automatically calculated based on the resource allocation. Now, SOS number 2, also based on the resource allocation, it calculates automatically the allocated labor cost. Also, if you have multiple or a different legal entities based on the actual resource allocation, I can see how much allocated for the intercompany cost. So if the resources are in a different legal entities within the same organization, now I can automatically see under SOS number 3, the allocation cost for the intercompany. Now, if the resources also are a subcontractor resources, based on the actual resource allocation, you can look at SOS number 4 and it automatically calculate the allocation cost for the subcontractor resources. Now, in terms of the actual cost for that project, now, if you look at SOS number 5, so if the resources is using NetSuite to track the time, or maybe they are using any different system, based on the actual timesheet or the approved timesheet, SOS number 5 will start calculate the actual labor cost and automatically add it here as an actual labor cost. Also for the subcontractor cost, if you are allowing the resources as a subcontractor to enter time in NetSuite, or even just having the subcontractor cost as a vendor invoice, now SOS number 6 will automatically calculate the actual subcontractor cost. Now, SOS number 7, in terms of the actual revenue, SOS number 7 will automatically capture all of the revenues or all of the invoices generated to the customer till today, and also the recognized revenue. So based on the start date and end date of the project, we can use the native NetSuite automatically revenue recognition based on the start date and end date, and all of the recognized revenue will be automatically captured under SOS number 8. So with that said, let me go back to the slides. Awesome. So with that said, Project SOS solution, it's a transformative solution or transformative business solution that drive growth and enhance overall performance across industries. Either if you are in a manufacturing industries or a construction industry or a services industry, Project SOS help you to stay competitive in a fast changing market. Now I'm going to hand it over to Johnny for any questions.
Thanks very much, Ivan. That was a fantastic demonstration, really segregating the 3 different industries. I'm actually going to let Rebecca do the wrap up, but thank you for that great demo.
Thank you, Ivan. Okay, so as we wrap up today, I want to thank you all for your time and engagement. Please take a moment to complete our quick 3-minute survey. It's going to launch upon exit, so after the webinar ends. Your insights are really, really valuable to us, and we appreciate it. And then keep an eye out for a follow-up email from us with a Project SOS one-pager, the recording, and the slide deck, just for your for further information. So we cannot wait to work with you, and we know that we can help you close more deals in the ETO, advertising, construction industries, and beyond. So please direct any inquiries or client conversations to softwaresales@appficiencyinc.com and prospects@appficiencyinc.com, and we will connect you with someone who can start working on that deal with you. So thank you so much for your time and attention today. And before we officially wrap up, I do want to take some time. If there are any questions, please pop them in the Q&A box. But if not, we can wrap up early today. And thanks again for your time and engagement.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.